Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Roger, and this is your daily tarot map for Monday, December 12th, 2016, using tarot to create the life you want. So, happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all have a nice week. So, it being Monday, that means we begin working with a new deck for the coming week. And since we worked with 19th century images and ideas last week, I thought I'd switch it up a bit and choose a more modern deck for this week. So we're going to be working with the Urban Tarot created by Robin Scott. So this is a Thoth-based deck with modern symbolism. So I hope you enjoy our work with it in the coming week. And I also I'll put a link up above where you can find Robin's website address should you decide to investigate the deck further. So on to today's draw using the Urban Tarot. The three cards drawn randomly from the deck today were the Three of Swords, the Seven of Cups, and the Knight of Discs. So we have somewhat of a tough card for the first card of our week, and that is the Three of Swords, titled Sorrow in this deck. So this card is often associated with ideas such as suffering, heartbreak, and sadness. But remember that the sword suit has to do with the intellect and our thinking, our thought patterns. So it very well might point to a sadness or regret about something that we cannot change. And that's often the basis for a lot of our pain, about a situation that regrets about a situation that's past, that we might be still holding on to in our heart. Perhaps things have passed out of our life and we're struggling now to try to make sense of them. So the appearance of the Three of Swords often signifies a need to step off the current path we're on because that path is not doing us any good. Yes, when bad things happen to us, we do need to allow the pain in and to spend time processing it, but we want to make sure that we don't hang on to it for too long because that ends up preventing our growth. So it never hurts to ask ourselves whether the pain that we're experiencing now is about something that's out of our control. And if it is, if it's about something that we cannot change, then it might be time to step out of that pattern that the grief has thrust us into and instead put our energy into those things that we actually can change. So the next card in our draw isn't the most positive card of the deck either. That is the Seven of Cups, and it's entitled Debauch in this deck. So this card is often about the idea of too much emotion, too much focus on what isn't in our best interest, especially those things that tend towards addiction. So it often points to overindulgence and temptation. And we will always be tempted to do things that we later on regret. And we will find ourselves weak-willed when it comes to choosing what we know is the right course of action. So this may very well be the cause of that negative mindset that we saw with the Three of Swords. I can't tell you how many times I've had this card come up when a client wants to know when their boyfriend or girlfriend is going to come back to them. Not if, but when. So when this card appears, it usually signifies self-delusion of some kind, thinking that something is going to happen when actually it's not. We might think that if we just wait it out, our situation will change, or that our ex will miraculously appear on our doorstep begging for our forgiveness. Now, as I mentioned, this card can point to addictions, and this can be not only drugs, alcohol, and gambling, and things like that, but we can also be addicted to a person who might not always have our best interests in mind. So this might even point to us being a workaholic or an overzealous spendthrift. So whatever it is in your situation, it might be the cause of that sorrow, that feeling of unrest that we saw with the first card. We all have our addictions, and some more serious than others. But I think what today's cards are asking us to do is to examine our life and to see if there's a behavior pattern or a thought pattern that's repeating over and over and that's perhaps keeping us stuck where we are. So our last card is the Knight of Discs, which is the equivalent of the King of Pentacles in the Waite-Smith tradition. And the title of the card in this deck is The Gourmet Chef, which I think is really cool. So this card is about regaining control of the material realm, gaining control of our finances, of our health, our addictions, and our relationships. But it's not going to happen by itself. Just like a gourmet meal can't be prepared without a little bit of proper planning and preparation ahead of time. So this card is asking you to take a proactive approach to any of those issues that might be plaguing you and decide what steps you can take to overcome them. You know, the process of our chef cutting vegetables here makes me think of the need to cut out the excess or excesses from our life, our regrets, or maybe even obsession about a past relationship, those addictions that are hurting us and preventing us from growing, those self-defeating beliefs and thoughts that we have about what we think we cannot and can achieve, and instead focus on making a fresh start. So this night is all about responsibility, and it gently reminds us that we are responsible for our own future. You know, we might not always be able to control the things that happen to us, but we can control how we react to them and how they affect our future. So the message today for these three cards is: failure is not falling down, but rather it's refusing to get up. So today, start cutting out that which is holding you back. Put regrets behind you and refuse to be a victim anymore. So today's advice card comes from the Chronicles of Destiny Fortune cards, and the card drawn randomly from the deck today is the Butterfly Queen. Okay, so this card supports nicely the idea of today's draw. So the Butterfly Queen is all about change and transition, about allowing change to come. So those of us stuck in a rut or stuck in unproductive patterns of behavior and thinking know that at some point something has to give, that we need to make a change, just as a caterpillar needs to move out of its chrysalis, spread its wings, and finally fly. At some point, staying in the chrysalis becomes more painful than the risk of daring to break out of it. So, what can you do today to begin your own transformation? And that is your daily tarot map for today. If you liked this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button on the channel here. And you can visit my website at tarot-dude.com, where you'll find all of my contact information. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Brightest blessings.